Yeah. Welcome to another episode of My Dogs Are Annoying. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another stale movie review. Today I'm going to be talking about the film The Taking of Deborah Logan, which is directed by Adam Robitel. The Taking of Deborah Logan, I saw this movie on Netflix, and it was just one of those movies that the past couple of times I've been perusing the horror section, I keep passing over it and I'm like, it looks mildly interesting, but there was always something I wanted to watch more, you know? Those kinds, they just pass over and then eventually you watch it. This was one of those. I just recently finally got around to watching it. Of course, I'm gonna share my thoughts with you fine, creepy people. The Taking of Deborah Logan is a found footage horror movie, which I will just keep it brief right here. I don't prefer those kinds of movies, so we'll just leave it at that. The Taking of Deborah Logan is about a woman, Deborah Logan, shocking, who is in the early stages of Alzheimer's. And we have a student, Mia, who is making a documentary about Alzheimer's, and two people that she's hired to help make this movie are documenting Deborah and her daughter Sarah, you know, just to show the progression of Alzheimer's and how it affects people's daily lives and blah blah blah, that sort of thing. So that's how we get our footage. Mia and her team are filming them, and as the movie goes on, obviously this is a horror movie, so weird things start to happen, and then Mia and Sarah and everybody start to think that maybe there's something else going on here and not just a disease that Deborah is suffering from. As found footage horror movies go, this one is definitely not the worst one I've ever seen. It was actually quite enjoyable up until the very end, which I know I say that about almost every single movie that I see, but it's true. I actually quite liked watching it up until the very end. So, points for that. There aren't a lot of like Cloverfield-esque moments, you know, I think there's maybe one or two where there's loud, scary noises and they're running and you can't see anything. But other than that, it's actually quite clear and steady. A lot of the really scary scenes you can see clearly, which I like. I'm not a fan of the running around waving the camera while something roars or makes scary noises behind you and we're meant to be scared, but we can't see what we're supposed to be scared of. Save that rant for another day. So the ending, I might as well just go ahead and talk about it. Ending is the reason why I ultimately did not like this movie as much as I probably could have. So as the movie progresses, we start to see that maybe what's happening to Deborah is not just the progression of Alzheimer's, and maybe it's something else, as sort of like unexplainable things start to happen. So we get this backstory about how Deborah used to be a phone operator a long time ago, and obviously like in connecting calls and everything, she dealt with kind of people conducting shady business over the phone, and she didn't say anything obviously because she wanted to keep her job and wanted to continue making money. One of the people that she operated for, I guess, is that what you do? Operate for some, whatever. He was ritualistically killing young girls in some sort of satanic spell thing, I guess, that would give him eternal life. And I think he had to sacrifice like 5 girls or something like that. But after the 4th murder, he disappeared mysteriously. Nobody knows what happened to him. They never found a body or anything. So we get this backstory, and it's discovered that Desjardins is the spirit that is possessing Deborah Logan, because as we find out, Sarah, Deborah's daughter, was meant to be his 5th victim, and Deborah killed him. She killed Desjardins and buried him, and nobody found out what happened to him. So I took it as kind of like revenge / he wants to finish the ritual and gain eternal life, I guess. Which I guess is fine. Didn't really have a problem with that, I guess. It explains why she was being possessed in the first place, so there you go. The part where they lost me was when Deborah / Desjardins kidnaps this little girl who has cancer and takes her into these caves where the murders were committed originally to finish the ritual. So obviously our filmmaker and Sarah chase her into the caves to try and stop her before she kills this poor little girl. And when they find them, Deborah Desjardins has detached her jaw and is literally trying to swallow this girl headfirst whole, I guess. I don't know if she was trying to swallow her or what. That's when I was done. Okay. That's when it lost me. And then the movie finally ends with obviously them stopping Deborah, but the little girl miraculously recovers from her leukemia, and we're seeing like a television news report where the reporter is asking her like what she's going to do now that she's going to live and all that, and she keeps saying it's a secret, I'm not going to tell you, and then she looks into the camera and gives that creepy little smile, and you're like, well fuck, and then the movie ends. I hate that. I just didn't like the ending. I just didn't like it. I guess I'm more of a person that likes the really open-ended, not really resolved endings, because just to me that's scarier. Scarier to me to have an open-ended, kind of unresolved conclusion, I guess. Especially when it comes to found footage horror movies, I just enjoy the open-endedness more, because to me it just, so for a lot of horror movies, we get to enjoy being scared for a while, and then in the end, the evil is usually defeated or stopped or anything, and we can all breathe easy knowing that this evil has been stopped and we won't have to worry about it ever. It's just scarier to me to have something more open-ended, because you're left with that unsettling feeling like it's not over, it's not resolved, it's still out there, it could happen to me, that sort of thing. So that, I guess, is just a personal preference as to why I didn't like the ending. Some things I did enjoy about this movie was the idea of kind of comparing a possession to Alzheimer's. And I guess you could really compare the two, or you could really compare the possession to any kind of like neurologically degenerative disease, I guess. I just like the idea that it starts off with Deborah in the early stages of Alzheimer's, and we see how it affects her mind, we see how it affects her daily life, and it's sad. And then they kind of start to blur the lines between Alzheimer's and possession. Kind of got the idea in my head that it just made, I don't know, it just made Alzheimer's scarier, like, because, you know, part of the big conflict in the movie is she possessed, or is her Alzheimer's just progressing and is, you know, is her brain just deteriorating? So to me it was just a lot scarier to think like it was just shining a light on this condition, this disease, and saying this is real and this is scary. So I really liked that comparison. That's just what I took away from the movie. I really enjoyed that. And the film crew was a good like the tech guy and the cameraman were a good comedic relief. The tech guy, he's the one, like, he kind of plays the audience member, like when they see footage of Deborah like levitating from the floor to a counter. Like it happens, like it looks like a jump cut, but the time code stays the same. So they're kind of arguing about it. They're saying like, well, it could be this, and the tech guy's just like, are you serious? Like, do you see this? So he kind of plays the audience where he's kind of picking at it and be like, are you guys serious right now? Like, so I did enjoy those aspects. And again, I really was enjoying the movie up until the little ending. I'm not gonna say it again. Up until the ending. So it could have been another found footage horror movie to add to the very short list of ones that I actually like. Let me know if you have seen The Taking of Deborah Logan. And if you haven't seen it yet, you can absolutely go watch it on Netflix. It's still on there. It's still available to view. I would say I recommend it. Go ahead and give it a watch. It's definitely not horrible. The style, like the filmmaking style, is quite clear most of the time, so you can see a lot of things, and the acting is not terrible at all, so I would definitely go give it a watch. And if you do go watch it after this, come back and let me know what you thought about it. And yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you are already subscribed. And until next time, stay strange. Bye.